There are many ways to die in the mountains: cold, hunger, avalanches. But what happened in the winter of 1959 doesn't fit any of them. 9 experienced hikers, 1 tent, temperatures below minus 30 degrees Celsius. And yet, they didn't freeze in their sleep. They ran. They cut their way out of their tent from the inside. They fled barefoot into the darkness. Some never made it more than a few hundred meters. Others died much later. This is not a story about survival. This is a story about fear. This is what happened at Dyatlov Pass. These were not amateurs. The group consisted of 9 young hikers, students and graduates from the Ural Polytechnic Institute. Most were in their early 20s. All were experienced winter trekkers. Their leader, Igor Dyatlov, was calm, meticulous, and respected. They had maps. They had food. They had proper gear. Their goal was simple: reach Mount Otorten and return in 3 weeks. They left behind journals, photographs, even jokes. Nothing suggested fear. Nothing suggested panic. Until February 1st, 1959. That night, everything changed. On February 1st, the group stopped on the slope of a mountain later known as Kholat Syakal. Its name translates to something chilling: Dead Mountain. They pitched their tent on an exposed slope instead of descending into the forest. Why? Some believe it was for training. Others think visibility was poor. But what matters is what happened after nightfall. Sometime between 9 p.m. and midnight, something forced them to react instantly. No shoes, no coats, no weapons. They didn't open the tent flap. They cut it open. Weeks passed. No one returned. Search teams were sent. What they found still haunts investigators. The tent stood partially collapsed. Food still inside. Boots neatly arranged. The cuts were from the inside. Footprints led away from the tent. Barefoot, in socks. Some staggered. Some ran. The first bodies were found near a tree. 2 hikers, barely clothed. Hands burned as if they tried to climb for warmth. Further away lay 3 more bodies, frozen mid-movement, trying to return, trying to survive. But 4 hikers were still missing, and what happened to them was far worse. Spring came. The snow melted. The last 4 were discovered in a ravine. Their injuries were unlike anything rescuers had seen. One had a crushed skull. Another had broken ribs, as if struck by immense force. One woman was missing her tongue. Another had missing eyes. No external wounds, no signs of a fight. One body tested positive for radiation. The official cause of death? Compelling natural force. A phrase that explains nothing. So what happened? Avalanche? Possible. But footprints were still visible weeks later. Military testing? The area was restricted. Strange lights were reported in the sky. Infrasound? Low-frequency sound that can induce panic. Something else? Something that made 9 rational people abandon shelter. Together. Whatever it was, it didn't just scare them. It overrode survival instinct. And that's the most disturbing part. No one knows what truly happened that night. The case was closed. The files were sealed. The mountain remains silent. Today, the pass bears Igor Dyatlov's name. But the question still lingers. What could make you flee into certain death, rather than stay where you were safe? Some mysteries aren't meant to be solved. Some are meant to be remembered. And this one never lets go. Not every mystery ends with closure. Some end with silence. If you're drawn to the stories that refuse to fade, follow dark obscura and step back into the dark.